Hello, everybody, and welcome again to another edition of Movie Masters. I'm your host, Movie Master Mike, and I am back and just as mediocre as ever with my review of Ant-Man. I know it's been a while, but I saw it on Monday, and I just hadn't had a chance to talk about it. But this is going to be a spoiler-filled review. I'm going to talk about everything that I liked and didn't like in the movie. So, getting right into it, I liked it. I liked Paul Rudd. I like Paul Rudd. So, I liked him in this movie. He was basically Paul Rudd, but I like that. I like Evangeline Lilly. I like Michael Douglas. The guy that played the villain, I thought was like the weakest point in the movie. I thought he looked... who did he look like? He looked kind of like Kevin Spacey and kind of sounded like Kevin Spacey too, but he just wasn't menacing enough. And the big problem with this movie is that it's basically Iron Man, the first Iron Man. Corey Stoll, that's who played the bad guy, Darren Cross, or Yellow Jacket. But, yeah, it's basically Iron Man. I mean, it's a guy who gets a suit. The whole middle of the movie is basically him learning how to use the suit. And then at the end, this guy wants to use the suit, or his version of the suit, to sell as like an arms weapon type thing. And then they fight and it's over. Like, it's basically Iron Man all over again. And Michael Douglas's character, Hank Pym, even says, like, this isn't like just some Iron Man suit, like, and you know, he kind of is, but I mean, it's a completely different type of suit. It's not just a suit of armor that, you know, whenever he, you know, shrinks down, he can, you know, there's something else that makes him talk to ants. But it was really cool seeing Michael Douglas as Ant-Man in like these videos of like, I wanted to say it was World War II. I was like, no, he's not that old. Like, it had to be something. And then we know that his last mission is in like 1989. That's when his wife dies, who was the Wasp back in the 80s. But you know, there's like these still photos, and like then Corey Stoll's character like enhances it, and you see this little tiny person like in the picture of these like, you know, scenes of war, and it's like, oh, that's pretty badass. I like that. I like the cast: Paul Rudd, Michael Douglas, Evangeline Lilly. Corey Stoll I just didn't like because he was just Kevin Spacey to me. Then all the other side characters, Paul Rudd's character Scott Lang, like his like friends from like jail, or well, one of them was from prison, but the other ones were just other people. Didn't really like them. Judy Greer as Scott Lang's ex-wife. I didn't really like her all that much. Her new like fiance, the detective, I thought was okay. But yeah, I don't know. Just all the other side characters I didn't really like. If they just kind of, I like the idea that Scott Lang's wife went from, you know, being married to a criminal to a cop. That's kind of cool. But it was all about his daughter. When he got out of jail, he's like, all right, no more stealing and stuff like that. I want to go straight so I can, you know, be with my daughter and stuff. But then, you know, his buddy from jail is like, oh, I know these people that can do this thing. He's like, no. And he works. He's working at Baskin Robbins, and his boss finds out that he like, apparently he like hacked into this thing, stole a ton of money from this company that was like stealing it from customers, and he gave it back to the customers. And they drop a line that he has like a master's degree in, what was it? He's got a master's degree in like electrical engineering or something like that. So he's a super smart guy, and he's in shape. So he finally breaks down. He's like, all right, I got fired because they found out that I lied about who I was, and they found out I was a criminal. So let's do this job. And basically, you find out that his buddy from jail, like his friend's girlfriend, cleans this dude's house, and she found out there's this giant safe in the basement. So she told her boyfriend, who told the guy that Paul Rudd's character Scott Lang was in prison with, and so like they do all these things, and like they have to like disable the alarms and reroute that and do this, and he gets to the thing. It's like this old safe from like 1911. So then he has to like shoot like nitrous oxide or something, nitrogen, to freeze it, and the metal will expand and explode. And he goes in there, and the only thing in there is the suit. So he's like, fuck it. He seals the suit and gets out of there. He puts the suit on, it shrinks down, and he's like, he almost died because he shrunk down. He didn't know what to do, and he almost got stepped on and washed away in the tub. So he's like, fuck this, and he puts it back, and then he gets caught. And we find out later that the cops were there because Evangeline Lilly's character called the cops on him. And you find out that Michael Douglas pretty much orchestrated the whole thing. Like, he let the cleaning lady see it and told him, hey, tell your boyfriend to tell the guy to tell Paul Rudd to, steal this thing from my safe. So it was basically this big thing to get him to steal it, to put on the suit and stuff. But Evangeline Lilly plays Michael Douglas's character as Hank Pym's daughter, didn't like it. She wanted to use the suit like herself, to do this thing that they want Paul Rudd to do. And it was a pretty funny movie, lots of jokes. The middle montage basically is him learning how to use the suit, which I didn't mind. I thought I would. I thought it'd be more like Iron Man, where it was cool but not that cool. I'm not as big on Iron Man as most other people are, the character and the movie, but I liked the montage. Him trying to use the suit, having everything explained to him, and then kind of explain to him why they need him to go in and steal the suit and plans that Corey Stoll's character is doing, because he's trying to recreate the Ant-Man suit. But Michael Douglas, his character Hank Pym, has hidden all those secrets from S.H.I.E.L.D. and Howard Stark and all these other people. Like, he doesn't want them to have it because it's like a huge weapon of mass destruction. You shrink down, but you still have the strength of a 6-foot person. So as a little person, you can go in and shoot people and punch people and all these things, and no one will see what is doing it. So he's been trying to keep it a secret, but then Corey Stoll's character has created the suit that can shrink, but he hasn't created a serum that will let a human shrink with the suit. He keeps trying it on animals, and the animals just turn to goo. So they need to stop him from taking that next step and doing it. They need to steal the suit and all his work, so he has to start over from zero. And but they need to steal this thing out from an old like Tony Stark warehouse, or Howard Stark warehouse out in upstate New York, and that thing will reroute all the security systems somewhere else so the cops don't get called when they break into Corey Stoll's facility. Which was a cool part of the movie, because like he's flying over it and all of a sudden you see the Avengers A on top of the building and a bunch of jets, and Ant-Man's like, what the fuck, like you told me this was like an empty like storage unit, like this is the new Avengers place. And it's kind of cool that played into the end of Age of Ultron, where they have like a new Avengers facility, and the only Avenger that was there at the time was not Eagle, what the fuck's his name? Fuck, I can't even think now. Falcon. And then they had this cool fight, like he can see Ant-Man, but he keeps, they keep fucking each other up, and he finally does get in there and steal it, which was a really cool part of the movie. Like, Falcon's like, on his intercom, he's like, after Ant-Man already steals it and gets away, he's like, please, it's very important to me that Cap never finds out about this. Which I thought was great. It was cool just seeing, another Avenger in it. Paul Rudd, his character, even says, why don't you guys just call the Avengers to do this? Like, why aren't, why not? He's like, Michael Douglas, he says, like, I spent most of my life trying to not let this fall into the hands of one Stark. I'm not about to just hand it over to another Stark, which I thought was really cool. Reasons why the Avengers aren't involved in this and stuff, which is really cool. And the rest of the movie plays out, montage. They think the bad guy, Corey Stoll, is onto them, but maybe he's not. Maybe he is. They don't know. Evangeline Lilly's character hates Scott Lang, and her dad, like she voted Hank Pym out of the company when the board was voting on if they should get rid of him. It was a tie, except for she hadn't cast her votes yet, so she voted him out because she hated the fact that right after her mother died, he just disappeared for a week and stuff, and has never really talked about it. And she doesn't know that she was Wasp and died in a mission. And throughout the movie, you get to hear that Scott Lang's like toying with like this thing on the belt that like regulates everything. And Hank Pym's like, no, don't mess with that. Like, if you mess with that, you could shrink and continue to shrink for all eternity into you go subatomic into this weird like phantom zone type thing. And he's like, oh, okay, never mind, I won't fuck with it. And then Hank Pym finally breaks down and tells Evangeline Lilly's character, Hope, that that's how her mother died. In a mission, they couldn't get into this thing, even in ant size. She had to shrink down in between the molecules and do it. And she saved the day, but she died. Or at least, Michael Douglas assumes that she died, but really she's just shrinking and shrinking for all eternity. And then at the end of the movie, they do their main heist. They get his friend from prison involved, and they're doing all these things. But then, like, right before, and it's really cool. Like, the whole animation with the ants and all these things are really cool. I thought there's a few things I didn't like. Just like anytime they needed there to be ants just around, they just kind of like appear out of nowhere. It's like, yeah, like I know Hank Pym like talks to ants and stuff, but they're just everywhere. Like, he's sitting in a car and originally like you have to concentrate like to get the ants to do what you need to do, and then all of a sudden like ants just like come out of the dashboard. It's like, you have like ants in your car, like. So there's some silly parts you just have to take with a grain of salt, but the final mission, like they get in, they do their thing, but then like right before he's about to like get to the Yellow Jacket suit, like he gets caught in Corey Stoll's character like takes the Yellow Jacket suit and catches him, and it was all just a big like he knew all along. He's like, I knew that Scott Lang, when he got out of prison and all of a sudden he disappeared, or he did get caught. Like I said, Evangeline Lilly called the cops on him because she didn't like him. Like, he went to jail, and then Hank Pym broke him out of jail. Like, he disappeared from the jail cell without a trace, and he disappeared. Then I went to your house, and like I knew he was there, and I saw your daughter there, and like, I knew this was coming. And he finally did break the serum, so a person could shrink down. So then they have like a big battle. Corey Stoll's character thought they were just in there to steal like the suit and the serum, but really they blew up the whole facility, which was really badass to see. And then there's this big fight between Yellow Jacket and Ant-Man, which was super awesome. Going back and forth. And then Yellow Jacket goes to Scott Lang's ex-wife's house, like use the daughter against him, and that's when you see like the scene with the toy train and stuff, which was so cool. Them like throwing these toy trains, and when they're small, it looks epic and badass, and it shows like a wide shot, and it's just these little toy trains. Super cool. I really liked the movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. The side characters I didn't really like. The fact that there were ants there all the time, just coming out of the woodwork was kind of weird, but I mean, they made an Ant-Man cool. An Ant-Man movie cool. It was enjoyable. It was fun. I like Paul Rudd. I thought he was great as the character. He was charismatic and fun and funny. There was a lot of good laughs. I personally want to see it again. I saw Avengers twice. I haven't seen Jurassic World twice, even though I liked that movie a lot and I want to see it again, but I just haven't had time. But next week I'm going to go see Rogue Nation. So I don't know if I'm going to have time to see this movie again in theaters, but I'm going to try because I really want to. I want to see it again to see all the little things that I might have missed the first time around and things like that. But I think that's all I have to say. I really liked it. If you're on the fence about going to see it, just go see it. I mean, it's a fun movie. It's not going to break any records or anything, but redefine the Marvel movie franchise or anything like that. But it was still fun. I liked it. It was enjoyable. And I think more people should see it, because if they can make an Ant-Man movie cool, then they can really do anything. I mean, from here on out, like, as long as they don't fuck up Thor 3, then really their only bad movies were Iron Man 3 and Thor 2. I mean, Cap 1 was alright. Iron Man 2 was kind of bad, but I mean, most of their movies are pretty good, watchable, enjoyable. And this one is way better than Thor 2, way better than Iron Man 3, and better than Iron Man 2. So, I mean, And a lot of people hate Incredible Hulk, even though I really love that movie. But it's a good one. You should go see it. I guess that's all I got to say about it. Just, it was enjoyable and it had some good laughs. So tune in next time when I review something. I'm gonna probably Rogue Nation, because that's what I'm gonna go see. Hopefully the Thursday night showing. If not, I'm gonna definitely see it on Friday, on opening day. So until then, I'm your host, Movie Master Mike, reminding you to speak your geek and balance your geek. It's Geequilibrium.